Yeah,
Thankfully, now
they might have to deal with Saxons on top of them. Ugh.
I mean, Attila did get into Gaul.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He did. Attila the Hun. You better run. It's like my favorite line in that whole movie. Okay. Yep.
Last time with the Whims of Fate, Tooth's other brain cell took over and realized that Brina was taller. And was too tall to steal the tiara from to appraise.
No one is ever too tall.
I just loved how you explained that his other brain cell kicked in. Just like what? No, we just had to update Megan to the fact that I'm now 2 feet taller than I was.
Pretty funny though.
The ladies returned to girls' nights, where Tong used magic to show where she has traveled, and then Brina used the same magic to show where she's been, revealing the Americas 400 years early.
Sorry, not sorry?
400, 400 to 600 years early.
Thereabouts.
Tong created the first semi-accurate globe of the world with illusion magic. And as she was thinking about possibly exploring the Americas in the future, some warnings from Gao She alerted Brina to a significant person in Tong's life, to which Tong was forced to reveal that she is in fact married, and told the story of how they met.
And how she only recently became aware that she was married.
A very brief rundown of said story. Eventually, Igraine asked if she could see Tong's arm, and over the course of half an hour, healed all of her burn wounds, or burn scars. To which Tong was very happy, to the point that she got very emotional and willingly hugged Igraine. And then everyone was kicked out because Igraine got tired.
Understandable.
And I think Brina and Adea went to bed early. Or at least as early as they could reasonably get, with Brina probably staying up quite a bit, still processing the info.
And finding a very secure, safe place to store my new tiara. Because we also had Brina learning what a tiara is.
Oh, and Erden gave Cobalt a thing to translate.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, with the Whims of Fate.
Okay. So, wow. We'll see how well I can focus.
Give us a roleplay prompt. We can take care of the rest of the session.
Right. Tempting.
About that is that you're not wrong. Dale wants sword.
So we will
They
have.
always want sword. Maybe Ginny D is just a day of reincarnated.
We'll have it the next day where you can wake up.
The other way around. Your dad can be reincarnated.
Trying to think.
I don't know.
Wait a minute. I need to tell me if I got a response from that one. And that one. I have so many letters that I need to write responses to.
Should I apologize because I know at least 5 of them? Okay, well, 4 because Rada is one of them, so you don't have to respond for Rada. But should I apologize
Yeah.
because 4 of them are from me?
Yeah. And then
I was gonna say it's mostly my fault, isn't it?
still waiting on one that's going to somebody's sister.
Heard it.
He has the pearl. Let's you just use that. I would have sent it to the night before. That's why I messaged it, because I knew there wouldn't be time yet last session.
Okay. So you wanted to send it that night?
Yeah.
Message. Hang on. I've got so many things going through my head, other than pain.
Not surprising.
I hope they're not causing any extra pain.
Um.
How many
Okay.
pounds of weight can 2 swallows carry using a line of creeper?
We'll run through that real quick because that'll be important for things today. So you get in touch with your sister. After you send that initial message, there's like this really long pause, and she's just like, "I'm sorry, run this by me one more time. What have you gotten yourself into?"
So, there's an army. They're primarily Roman, so I'm assuming Catholic. They're trying to kill some of my friends, but I would like to scare them away. And I think you might know. I mean, you guys write stuff down. There might be like descriptions or whatever of what they're really afraid of, especially like the end of days and stuff.
You know who would have been very good for this? Rada, who studied all of the military stuff at the Library of Alexandria.
Also, like a dozen religions as she looked for a new god.
She specifically targeted like the methods of the Saxons so that we would know how to fight them.
Mhm. And then she mysteriously disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's assuming that it's a Saxon army that's coming at us. We were told that,
Probably a Roman
yeah, we were
Catholic.
told that Constance is sending his army after us.
Uh, you're lucky I'm at work right
It's
now.
a
Hold on.
Roman army.
Let me just climb like 3 flights of stairs.
Thank you. You're the best.
Yeah, just remember this later. After a moment, you'll kind of hear her humming to herself. It's kind of one of the things she does when she's like flipping through the reading, just kind of muttering. She goes, "Okay, well, hell is always a good one. Not our hell. Their hell is a little different.
Oh,
Uh,
what's different about it?
well, apparently it's a lot of brimstone and fire. Um, weeping, wailing, gnashing of teeth, kind of torture.
Okay.
Opposed to as opposed to, icy landscapes and that kind of thing. I love it. It's like the polar opposite. It's the Norse hell is like burr, and the Christian hell is like suffer, be on fire.
Hell
He
is
cast
also a
firewall.
person.
Yes, I should
I
refer
know
to
which one I'd
hell.
rather go to.
I wonder if the Norse had a reason for believing that ice was hellish.
Mhm,
you, you
Ceramic
know,
environment, maybe?
I would say that their home would give them a very good reason to believe that hell is frozen over.
To quote an old Disney movie, Snow Dogs, well, if I go down below, at least it's warm.
Uh,
Been that in a long time.
so yeah, it's not dark per se. It's just a lot of fire. Uh, I'm guessing. I mean, with the talk of brimstone, I'm guessing it smells like sulfur. I'm not entirely sure. They never mention it, but that's what brimstone is. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Uh, there's also looks like the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Oh yeah, they mentioned that. Yeah, we were talking about that a couple days ago.
I'm not entirely sure why they fear the word apocalypse. Um, it's not a. It, because apocalypse just means unveiling in Greek, but apparently to our Christian friends, apocalypse means the end of the world. I'm guessing they got it mixed up with Ragnarok. Not entirely sure.
It turns out that the revelation, that the Greek word meant, became most famous for being a revelation of the end of the world.
Yeah. But it does look like, at least in this particular um, Bible that I am reading, looks like the moon will turn to blood or look like blood or it's bleeding. I'm not entirely sure. It's gonna turn red, which I mean happens during certain like eclipses. So I don't know if that's what it means. I don't know. Or maybe it's literally gonna start bleeding. Christians are weird. They really like their blood. There's a lot of blood
Look,
symbols.
their death world that has fire in it. Like they're already being a little weird.
They're very dark. There's also let's see. So the four horsemen are death, uh, famine,
Protestantism, yeah.
war. Uh, sorry, I've got to flip through some pages. Um, Oh, looky there. Their god apparently is fighting some sort of serpent. Maybe it's the world serpent? I don't know. uh, and it looks like pestilence. Yeah, very dark. A lot of bad things. There's something about seven seals? Um,
Like the animal?
no, like like a seal that you put on like an envelope when you mail off letters,
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
like in hot
Why she need
wax.
7 of them, though?
I don't know. They really like 7 though. There's something about 7 trumpets that are announcing global destruction. Maybe the seals are being opened by this, and there's 7 bowls. I don't know. They have lots of 7s. I don't know if 7 is something important. There's a dragon. I'm not sure why there's a dragon. Um, but I mean, dragons turn up a lot. And I mean, in Western folklore, dragons are not great. Well, except in Celtic. There's a red dragon that's pretty important, the Pendragon. I've read about that. That's supposed to signal unity. But I'm gonna guess that that's not the same dragon of Christianity because the dragon seems to be the bad guy.
That seems to be the common belief with Western stuff, so yeah, makes sense.
Um, yeah. So, I'm also seeing earthquakes, the sun being darkened, stars falling, and then a moment of silence before everyone is judged. Whatever that means. I'm guessing for their good works or bad works. That seems to be a big thing in Christianity. I'm
Oh
just
boy,
watching
what
your
I
guys' faces. Are you having fun hearing this from the perspective of someone who is not a Christian?
Yeah,
It is
Well,
certainly fascinating.
well, yes, but
I
I'm
don't
also
understand
um
loving the
all the Norse
so
interjection.
I have decided that for my flavor text of casting Sickening Radiance that she like the verbal component is the Chinese saying for blood of the stars, and then
blood of the stars.
and then like a drop of starlight falls like to where she centers the spell.
Love that.
Sounds cool and terrifying.
All at the same time.
Sorry, this is so funny. I just found a Cora thing, and they're like, oh my gosh. Wait, where did the it's only showing up there. I want to see what the rest of them was. Somebody's like, the red horse is communism, the white horse is Catholicism, the black horse is capitalism. I don't know what the pale horse is. I can't find it. I want to know. This is very funny.
Please hold for this momentary DM tangent.
Look, we have to meet our at least 20% quota when it comes to tangents
True.
with every session.
I don't know.
20%
But I'm very
tangent.
amused by the first 3.
Minimum.
And this is 2 sessions in a row where I have thought about a Legends of Evantris short that is relevant to the situation.
Let's see. Well, there's definitely this Satan guy who also shows up a lot in my writings. Apparently, it looks like he was an angel at some point, and then he did something to piss off their god and fell, and now he's trying to bring everybody down with him. That's kind of a dick move.
Don't say.
If only we hadn't had Uther send Henry up to the Picts.
Right? Um,
One of you
judging
knows
by a
ultrasound,
lot of
right?
judging by a lot of their artwork on this guy, Satan looks a lot like a tiefling. Red skin, horns, forked tongue.
With the whole sevens and apparently their big bad guy being a tiefling and just throwing a dragon in there. These guys are really weird storytellers.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's like no harmony in the story here.
No. Well, you should read this story about a guy named Job. Supposedly chosen by their god, but man, he's miserable.
You know what? If I ever learn Latin, I guess I'm gonna have to read it.
Uh, yeah. Latin, Greek, Hebrew?
I don't know. Maybe I'll wait for the Brythonic translation.
Yeah, from what I've heard, they daren't translate it out of Latin because that is the, I don't know, the holy language or something. Even though it looks like a lot of this came from the Hebrew, so I would think that's the holy language, but hey, I'm not Christian. I wouldn't know.
You would think.
You would think.
You know what? It sounds like Rome took over this religion as well and just decided, you know what? We've perfected it now. Now don't touch it.
Pretty much, it
You could touch it with the Council of Nicaea, but other than that, don't touch it.
looks like a guy, an emperor named Constantine, because they don't have 10 million of those, was the one who started this whole, hey, we're the holy people now. Because I won a battle wearing the cross of the Christ. I'm not entirely sure what the cross means. Let me just. That could be an option. Just start hanging people on crosses. It looks like that's how their god got murdered.
Oh yeah, I've heard the Romans like to do that for like punishments and stuff.
Yeah. They don't do it as much today, but was definitely a favorite. They really love showing off their criminals.
Hmm.
Mm, you could also just claim you have this holy grail thing, and maybe they'll just all decide to join you because you've got this holy relic.
What's the Holy Grail?
I don't know. Apparently, it's a cup that Christ drank out of or something on his last night before he was unceremoniously murdered.
So I could just find a cup and just claim it? Huh.
Maybe.
Might be easier than I thought.
There seem to be
Eh,
a lot of different depictions of this cup, so, you know.
Eh.
And I mean, you know people with magic. They could totally make it seem like it's a really holy relic.
Yeah, yeah, there's a water druidity that could make it like special or something.
Yeah, I
You know a
don't get
water
it,
druid?
but
Oh, excellent.
sure.
If you have a water druid, maybe you should just mimic their great flood. Drown them all.
We
Just make
are
sure
on
you
a
got
ley line.
by too. What?
We are on a ley line.
We
Oh,
practically have
that's
the high ground.
It'd be more less terrifying to watch Brina surfing the flood waves towards them. I guarantee you that is exactly what my brain thought of, and I'm like, why am I imagining my character surfing the flood?
it's over,
Other than that,
Constance.
I
We
took
have the
everything
ley line.
from my homeland.
It didn't write in Genesis was that on the 22nd day of the flood, Noah found a. The bird
you just
reported that they found a person surfing.
she makes this noise, just this like choking laugh, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I could show you this picture of what their angels look like. Freaky as hell. Our hell, not theirs."
Why do they look? Why they look all sunken and everything, or what?
No, they're like they're like eyeballs with wings.
What?
I don't know how else to describe it. They are eyeballs with wings.
Why would you put wings on eyeballs?
I
There's
don't
like the
know.
rest of the person you have to worry about.
Well,
There's just-
apparently.
I'm not familiar with this depiction. Agreement?
You haven't seen so people who take the description literally think that angels look like this.
Biblically accurate age.
Really accurate. Oh my word. Yeah, that's terrifying.
For sure, there's
Oh
also
yeah.
a version. For sure, there's also a version that it's just like two interlocking rings with the filled with eyeballs and wings.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
If you put a bunch of googly eyes on anything, you could call it biblically accurate.
What's funny is that depending on what you're putting them on, that could also be just as terrifying.
Yeah.
Biblically accurate mailbox.
Sorry, the first image that came into my mind was the bear from Toy Story 3, the like magenta bear, but like covered in googly eyes.
Let's go through some of their other texts and things. It looks like several of their apostles were also killed the same way with the whole cross thing.
Sorry. I don't know why the brain went there.
Looks like one of them was even drawn and quartered.
Surfing the flood waves, so you're good.
Surfing the floodways. Yeah. You know, I'm not entirely sure why anyone would want to be in this religion. It sounds horrifying.
Yeah, it doesn't
Where's all
sound very nice.
I say, where's all the good stuff? And then the next thing that comes up is love thy neighbor. So, I mean, I guess that's good.
Look, if they have to explicitly state it, then obviously they're not participating in it.
Well, it looks like it's a little more than that. They're literally saying, you have to love everyone, like, even your enemy. And if they want to slap you, you can't slap them back.
Not gonna lie, I still struggle with that one.
You're supposed to
Look,
turn the other
morality
cheek.
and morality and social convention are a contract. If they're not participating, you don't either. What happens on Earth stays on Earth. Okay, that's how it should work.
It literally doesn't.
Um, yeah. So, I don't know. Does that answer your question?
Oh, it
You need
gives. It definitely does. This has been great.
excellent. Well, if you need any more, I will maybe read up some more. I mean, apparently one of the scariest things you can do for these guys is just not behave because if you're not a good person, you go to hell. So,
Well, they
they
also
tell
seem to not like magic, so
oh yes, magic is evil. That's why a lot of apparently the Jews had problems with Christ because he was, quote, performing magic tricks by raising people from the dead, which sounds a lot like necromancy, so I don't really blame them there.
yeah, no, necromancy isn't good. No.
No. But I mean, he was also healing the sick, and looks like he cured some blindness and deafness, and sounds like somebody with seizures got cured. So I mean, I guess the magic he was performing was mostly healing magic. I'm just curious if maybe the whole raising somebody from the dead, which happened not that long before he was killed, was part of the reason that all backfired. That was the price of the magic.
Hmm. I don't know who'd he bring back?
Some guy named Lazarus.
I never heard of him. Probably wasn't worth
I
it.
don't know if he's important other than he was dead and then he was not dead. But it wasn't like permanent or anything because the guy died again. So I mean,
If Lazarus didn't even use his second life to do much, I guess it wasn't really worth it.
I don't know if he did. There's nothing stating otherwise. I don't know what he did. Doesn't even tell me. Unless I'm missing it somewhere in all of this jibber jabber. My Greek is not great. That is mostly what this is in. It has not been fully translated into Latin yet. And let me tell you, Greek sucks.
I'll take your word for it. I haven't even tried to read it yet.
Well, if you do, good luck.
Dea and Rada somewhere. Sorry.
Excuse me, Greek is great.
I feel a disturbance.
Gross.
I'll into it. But yeah, if you have like some more curiosity, keep reading about this stuff. Let me know if anything else kind of sticks out to you.
Will do. There is definitely some morbid curiosity here. Oh, he raised a little girl from the dead too. Wild.
Huh. There you go. Then. Well, it was nice talking to you. It's actually a bit late here, so.
Oh, well, you should probably sleep because I'm sure you've got lots of planning to do tomorrow and I've given you lots of ideas.
Oh yes, it's gonna be a whole production. Gonna have to find 7 trumpets.
Hey, Tooth, do you have 7 trumpets in your back?
It's
A bugle, a French horn, 3 cornets, and 2 kazoos.
And 2 kazoos.
No.
Does anyone know thaumaturgy for the kazoos?
You know what that makes me think of? You know how there's the intro to The Little Mermaid where King Triton comes in and he's got all those trumpets. It's like da 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 da, and then Sebastian comes in. It's like exactly what I'm thinking.
Liturgy
I
and the
think,
transition artifact.
I think the only person that has thaumaturgy anymore is Rada.
No, I have thaumaturgy.
Oh,
oh,
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say our bard should because it is a voice thing.
Anyways, no, I don't have 7. I have 5.
Do you have 2 kazoos?
Yes, yes, I do have 2 kazoos.
wait. So how many do we hit? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need an NPC to be another player.
We are a
we'll just
kazoo
get a bunch
short.
of NPCs for it.
It's too short.
I never thought I would say that.
Let's channel immediately.
Rod will come back just in time. Here, have a kazoo. Why? just do it.
Don't ask questions, just use your thaumaturgy. Okay.
On the morning
All
of the
right.
3rd day, look to the east.
Exactly my brain went. Morning of the 3rd day, look to the east.
Oh man. All right. So next day, Vernon's got so much to tell you guys. I can't wait for everyone's reactions to these.
This is going to be a great breakfast.
Oh yeah. If anyone
Oh.
sees him on his morning jog, he seems to have a pep in his step.
Dad probably doesn't see you until breakfast, which he has at least shown up to.
I think Tong arrives for the first time that you've seen her to breakfast. Like the entire time she was gone, she hasn't attended any of the meals. This is the first time you've seen her at one of those meals, and she's very tired, has bedhead, some straw in her hair because she slept in the stables.
Kind of probably looks maybe about half rested. Like she's not completely dragging, but she's kind of like, but got up a little earlier to finish off to finally write off her letter to Rada. So it's more those emotions than anything else.
Dad is peppy as usual, maybe even peppier than you would expect her to be by breakfast. Because she's not
Everyone's
exactly
peppy.
known to love being up in the morning. I'm pretty sure that earlier in the campaign there would have been mornings that telling Idea to get up would have been like, I'll get up in a moment. If you come any closer, I will stab you.
I don't have a feeling that everyone in the party, once they had that happen at least once, they only sent Brina to go wake you up. He's like, surely she won't stab Brina.
Surely not.
Surely she won't.
Idea doesn't scare Rana. If she did, she wouldn't have tried to put a leash on her.
Not try, successfully put a leash on her.
So yeah, we've got lots of peppy people. Igraine will not be there for breakfast. She's still out cold. She did some hardcore magic last night, so she's just but Gorlois does come in with all of the children. Um he seems pretty cheerful. Probably just because he gets to be with his family and all that good stuff. Will is probably the first one in there, so because he is an incredibly early riser.
Samur and Kellenen go back to their homes, or are they hanging
Yes.
out here for a little while?
Hold up.
Yeah,
What do you mean
they
up early? Because you've had him previously be very grumpy in the morning.
yes, but he also knew that there was going to be planning today, so he forced himself to get up before everybody else so that he would be less grumpy when people got up.
Gotcha. I was gonna say that makes much more sense because I'm sitting here, I'm like, I remember Leoflin and Cadmus
Yeah,
killing the
no,
heck out of him.
he is like me in that regard, but if I am up long enough before other people are, I can at least pretend like I'm not upset at being up that early.
Samur, Kellenen, not here. Here?
No, they went home.
Okay. That's okay.
I will say that Gorlois was like, if you want to be part of the planning, Amor, you can come back the following day. Obviously, they don't live far enough away that it's a hassle to travel that much.
Yeah. Get the
It's like,
expectation it's kind of get the impression it's kind of an expectation that Amor will be there for the important planning.
yeah, it's likely.
Amor's usually pretty good about being loyal and doing the things that are expected and implied of him.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so, um, yeah. So pretty much everyone is there then, it sounds like, for breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cobalt is there, very tired, but he has the translated letter.
I don't know when the planning would take place, but Amber would be there on time or slightly early, so.
He would have told you probably like early or like late morning, early afternoon, just to give you time to travel over.
Makes sense. So probably after breakfast.
Yeah. So yeah, here's breakfast. Gorlois is doing whatever the medieval equivalent of like choo-choo train or airplane to try and get his kids to eat the stuff they're supposed to eat.
Here comes the carriage.
Here comes the carriage.
Lord Gorlois, would you like help?
Yes, if you will take Elaine, that'd be great.
Okay. Here, Elaine.
Hello. I played with Erden last night. He played dollies with me.
That sounds wonderful.
He did voices. They were funny.
Yeah, that sounds like Ayrton.
Then I fall asleep.
Sounds pretty good. How many dollies should you have?
Um, this many. She just like throws up a random number of fingers.
You did voices
She-
for all those dollies?
Yeah. For 7.
When she's obviously holding up 9. Got it.
Yeah.
Me, when I was like, there were a lot of dolls. Wait, can she count that high?
Nope. Not yet. She can count to like 5 or 6. She knows the names of other numbers. She doesn't know what order they go in. It's kind of like Rugrats. There were 1,100 of them. That was probably one of my favorite things about Rugrats. 11.
That would have been pretty impressive with him doing voices for all of those dolls.
Yep.
Your dolls have names?
Uh-huh. And she's just gonna start listing off like the typical child names of dolls. It's like Emily and Beth and David. You know, real basic names.
And Rada and Brina.
Yep, and Rada and Brina.
You have one named Brina?
Uh-huh. She has lots of hair like you.
Did you name your dolly after me?
Uh-huh.
It's hard
And
to a little bit.
I named the other one after Miss Rada. I wish she were here. I'd play dollies with her.
I am sure she would love to play dollies with you if she were here.
She absolutely would.
Thank you so much for naming a dolly after me. That's so sweet.
I like you. You're nice. And you're pretty.
You. I think you're nice and pretty too, and I'll boop her on the nose. Because that's what you do to a dolly.
What's your other friend name, the tall one? Maybe I'll name one after her. Idea? Oh, that's a pretty name.
Dad's probably completely oblivious and distracted by something else.
I'll probably go with
Probably.
Old Bridget. Like, Idea, did you hear that? Elaine wants to name a doll after you because she thinks your name is pretty.
Dad's probably partially excited and partially doesn't know what to do with this information.
Like, I don't know how to handle children.
I'll just
Thank
kind of like
you.
Cobalt is watching
I'll
with
just, like, say
absolute
this first.
fascination.
Just say
Thank you.
I totally see Idea just giving to them. So, thanks.
And Diane can match the energy of the children, so once they get to playing, she is very good at that part.
Yep. Meanwhile, her brother is making lots of loud noises and making his food fight itself, like, making fighting sounds. While Gorlos is like, Kador, stop playing with your food and eat it. It needs to get in your tummy.
Wow. No hitting involved. He's a very good father.
Know what?
No hitting involved.
Anyway, as that meal starts to end, the basically the equivalent of the governess comes and picks up the kids. She's like, um, just let me know if you want them in a few hours or, whatever. Until then, we're going to go learn some numbers.
Fun.
Let's go count. Do 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 Dora. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why that came to my mind, but it did.
Hey, when you mentioned Rugrats, the theme song started going through my head.
So yep, now the kids are gone, so it's all the adults. um, so Gorlos kind of stretches and then he goes, "All right, well, um,
By medieval standards, Adea is absolutely an adult.
Amror will probably be here shortly since he's traveling back from home. We'll just catch him up when he gets here. So, Idea you do not have to stick around for the planning if you want to go work on that weapon. Since we know
Why
that
do I
that will be
feel like he doesn't even finish that statement before she jumps up?
See
Yeah,
ya.
Adea hears this and she's like, oh, I've got lots. Will and I have been doing lots of work, and there's a few more things I could go look at, and I love this idea. If nobody stops her, Adea's definitely gone.
Yeah,
Will
Ern
just
just
looks at
waves.
Gorlois and he's just like, really? Alright.
She wouldn't pay attention, or she would have a hard time concentrating if she was attending the meeting.
Great. I'll take good notes and update her later.
Yep.
Some people here remember the last time they made Adea be responsible.
Can we riot now?
We riot now.
Right. Alright, well, if you need anything from me, just send a message. If I don't respond, Idea's done something to me. And Gorlos just kind of pats him on the shoulder as he walks by and he's like, I don't think there's anything Idea could do that would harm you. You are a little bit more powerful than her.
I'm gonna like catch his sleeve as he goes past me. He's like, but if necessary, she doesn't like using it, but it could help heal if something goes wrong. But she probably will only use it if she has to.
So if I threaten her by saying if she does anything that could bodily harm me, that she's going to have to heal me, she might be more careful.
It's worth a shot, honestly.
Honestly, any bodily harm will be entirely coincidental.
Yeah, that's also true. But it's worth a
Hard to
shot.
I've got plenty of shields, and if worse comes to worse, I guess I can just. Well, never mind.
Is Adea terrified Will that badly?
He's not terrified. He's just cautious.
Like,
Keep in
now
mind, he is friends with Cad. And
yeah.
we've already seen the kind of damage Cad can put. And he knows that you're really good friends with Cad, so he's like, super cautious. Like,
What's really funny about this is that Cadmus is also really cautious in some areas. Idea
yeah,
is not. But apparently in the Forge they are also opposites in that Adea is actually pretty good about paying attention to her work and not doing stupid things.
yeah.
Actually complement each other rather interestingly in that way. Like you're more cautious in the forge and than Cadmus is in a way, and you're less cautious outside the forge than Cadmus is in a way.
Although we do know Adea likes learning new things and
Mhm.
occasionally experimenting, as was seen with the fabrication arrowheads that the two of them came up with.
Yeah. Okay.
Adea's not a prankster, but she's she's not
Right.
the sort of person who's entirely against them either.
All right. So now we've got everyone who is there for the actual meeting. Gorlash just kind of leans forward. He goes, "All right.
Once Amara arrives.
So we had briefly talked about using the four horsemen of the apocalypse or whatever that is. Need to do some research on that, but that's got some potential. Again, uh, magic of any kind is enough to really throw them.
I've actually got several things to mention as well on this point because got a pearl of my own to contact somebody who actually has a copy of the Bible in front of them and apparently some research notes as well. And well, I took some note. They had me take some notes and got a lot more ideas that can sell this.
Okay, I'm all
We're
ears.
just gonna have just like this little half smile on her face, like knowing that he contacted his sister at the library. I'm like, I like this. I approve. I'm not gonna say anything, but I approve.
I'm just imagining Cobalt with after all the things we are going to describe the idea of doing.
His
Oh,
reaction.
trust me, he's getting ready for a spit take. He just doesn't know it. I don't know. He just climbed off of my lap, over my shoulder, to go back to my lap. Apparently, it's a cat thing. Yes.
The need to climb.
It's true. Oh, I was like, where's mine? Right there, asleep. As long as he's not being obnoxious. All right. So, what are we looking at?
Well, looking more into like their, the whole end of days and everything for them. Apparently, there's a lot of sevens involved, like seven seals. Apparently, not the animals, and seven trumpets. So, I guess playing those while everything's going on is also gonna scare them a lot. Let's see here. I'm not sure where we're gonna find a giant serpent, so unless we can make a massive illusion, I don't think that's gonna work out.
I'll look over at Tong. Like I can do small illusions, but
This just reminds me of Zinkiro.
with the Leviathan, yeah.
Yes, in the river.
And Tyler not realizing that it was an illusion.
Yep.
See here. Also during it there should be earthquakes going on, stars falling. Let's see here. The moon should either be looking like blood or it should actually be bleeding. It's a little apparently that part's a little unclear. Let's see here, and then just a long period of silence before judgment. Though, if I think something that would be useful by getting more of the army involved would be kind of taking a hint from like this Satan guy and apparently some torturers of his or something. Like apparently he looks a lot like tieflings, and I guess the world where he comes from or their afterlife or whatever is based around brimstone and fire and torture and notably a lot of teeth. Yep.
Yes, it's weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth.
So unfortunately, I want to avoid this, but actually making a lot of weapons with the effect of fire might actually work.
Wow. Their afterlife sounds awful.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it could be worse. You could be Buddhist, where you get boiled alive in vats of oil for all eternity.
Oh no, we have that too.
What is wrong with you people?
Well, this is for the sinners, not for those who are righteous. There's also, the scorpions that when you're stung will cause your body to transform wildly to lose all sense of shape and form for those who are liars. I'm actually not entirely certain if Dante's Inferno already exists yet or not.
No, Dante's Inferno
Shouldn't.
was no Dante's Inferno was written by Dante Alighieri, or I think that was his name.
Yeah.
Dante
In the
Alighieri.
Renaissance.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
can't remember. I just can't remember
Like-
if he made that up or if that was a thing that existed beforehand. But
I think Dante's Inferno. I think he took inspiration from the scriptures, but I think it was mostly his own headcanon.
Yeah, it was
It
his
was his
fan fiction.
fanfic.
Yeah.
there was a lot of fanfic from that dude.
And so is Paradise Lost.
Oh, absolutely.
I love-
Hilariously so.
Sorry, I just love thinking of Dante's Inferno as a fan fiction of the Bible.
hmm
But doesn't he also get guided through the hells by his favorite Greek philosopher?
Yep.
He
Roman.
absolutely does.
It was by his favorite Roman philosopher.
Yeah. Who was blind, if my memory serves correctly. Not to mention that he also has like the girl that he was madly in love with is in the story as well.
I believe
Yeah.
she guided him through heaven.
Yeah, that doesn't come out until the 1300s.
The original classic fanfic.
Have a
The
good
fanfic
700 years.
Classic.
That bodes very disturbingly for the future of literature and fanfiction.com.
Or the internet will be gone by then because of World War III.
Okay, that is actually a relief.
Oh no, the internet will still survive. There
What
are
is it, like a cockroach?
safeguards.
The question is, if you try and squash the internet, does it get better or worse after surviving?
Yes.
Depends who finds its squished corpse.
Depends on how you try to squish it too. There's a few places that have tried to squish it by restricting it, and I would say that it usually gets worse that way.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I may have to end this just a little early. My best friend just got in contact with me. One of our friends texted her out of the blue that she hasn't talked to him in years. But
Yeah.
she's
Worried about him?
I'm not worried about it. She said that it was like super nice because they haven't talked in years. They had a pretty bad falling out, which wasn't really either one of theirs fault. It was her ex who kind of ruined things because he's a bit of a douche. But yeah, it's just still in the emotions. So she may need to chat
Support.
with me. Yeah, because it was one of our mutual best friends, and it looks like he texted her after he'd been talking to me because I was like, "Hey, I need your address," and he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "So I can invite you to my wedding, you dumbass." And he was like, "Oh yeah, Right, sure. It's like,
I,
what? No.
I still
I
understand
told him,
that.
I told him, I was like, no, what I really want to do is show up in your living room and sit on your couch eating food, just like Tyrell used to do to me. I had a friend, Tyrell, who would just show up. I'd come home from class and he'd just be in my living room eating stuffed peppers that he made at his restaurant. And I was like, why are you here? How did you get in my house?
He spoke friend and entered.
Yeah, I swear.
How
So
did you
true.
end up getting into your apartment?
Oh, we didn't lock it. It was Bozeman. Why would we lock our apartment? I mean,
So dying.
sorry, yeah. Half the time I didn't lock the apartment that I lived in when I would host the game nights and stuff. That one. Half the time I wouldn't lock my apartment. And then half the time when I did, I'd have to climb in through my window because I left my key inside or something. So I didn't lock my bedroom window either. Oh, what do you see? What are you looking at?
He sees a piece of a chocolate bar and he wants it. He is not getting it, and he's very unhappy about that.
It's just so cute.
He looks like a fierce, cute predator right now.
Yeah, I think she needs to chat. So sorry. I think I'm gonna have to call it here. We will pick up. Sucks because I think my headache's finally starting to go away. But unfortunately, this is important. I should be there for her.
Well, that sounds like
Well,
a useful time for your headache to go away then.
Yeah, useful time for your headache to go away so you can be there for her. Plus, I know you said that there was like a whole bunch of letters and stuff that you were trying to figure
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I think that works out okay.
Well, this also gives us an opportunity to discuss in character what we want to do. Well,
Mhm.
not in character, but like amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will say, since you guys can definitely continue chatting with each other. If you do come up with some ideas, if you just put them in the role play for me, so that I can see what you've discussed.
Okay.
And all that, and I will catch up with you. Did you want to jump in on the conversation with Myra, Megan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just come to your room.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right. I will see you all later. I love you all. Mwah.
Bye.
You did
See you.
See ya.
my severely distracted head today. So
You're good.
I will
You're
see
good.
you next week. Hopefully,
Yeah,
I will
see
feel better.
All right.
Sorry for taking up all the time, I guess.
Hey,
It
you
happens.
hardly got any last week.
Yeah, that is true.
Honestly, I'm just excited to be playing D&D where I don't have to talk the entire time.
Are you normally the DM?
Yes.
3 DMs in the chat.
I am happily a forever DM in most cases.
I was gonna say
But
this is
occasionally
the
your voice
forever
dies out.
DM's game.
Yeah.
No, this is the the forever DMs get to play game.
Yes, it is.
Marco,
And 2 players.
have you ever DM'd Marco?
Nope.
Neither have I.
Yeah, but between myself, Arthur, Ben, and now Braxton, there are a lot of primarily DMs.
Because Dominic runs our family campaign, or did before we finished it in the epic session to end all sessions. I'm never wanting to have that long of a session again.
Right? This also means that Braxton needs a second character to play.
Yeah, also seems to be a requirement.
For all the DMs, yeah.
I can
I
get on
think
the
Ben is our most player DM. Like, I think she has more games that she gets to be a player in, whereas
Yeah.
the rest of the DMs in this game are all like, yeah, I'm normally the DM, but I got invited and this is cool.
I mean, previously
This
I
is
just played with my cousins
player
and
two.
Sorry, what was that, Braxton? You kind of glitched.
I just said that's player 2. Say hi, and it's the one time he didn't meow.
Oh,
Oh,
hi,
again, most of the DMs in this game are also mostly happy as the forever DMs. So
Yeah, I like being a DM, as it's one of the few times I can really focus and not get distracted easily.
mhm.
I get to make lots of characters and actually play them.
Mm-hmm.
I love the world building aspect, and I like watching everybody succeed as I throw them challenges.
I think you
Yep.
also like having us surprise you.
Yes.
Having my character use speak with animals to interrogate the displacer beast of where we needed to go. I know you said that kind of surprised you.
Yes. I always forget about Speak with Animals,
I can never forget about speak with animals.
except for when Brina uses it, because Brina always has Speak with Animals.
Yeah, because Jen gave that to me as a character, as a race trait by making me a Menahune.
You have it on by default. You can't have it off.
Yeah,
Uh,
which is fun. Like I enjoy more now some of the quirks that she's given her characters than I did initially, because I'm like, why are you changing my character? But granted, that's the writer in me. It's like, nope, my character, fine. What are you doing?
Get back.
I have to admit, I think that's why I would actually struggle as a DM. Like, I think I would be really into the world building and the NPC building and all of that, where the players take the story and go wherever they want with it. That I think would be harder for me.
um, I think you'd have a more fun time than you realize.
Mhm.
And the fact that, like, what I do when I build a character, and it helps me with the DMing a lot, is I don't build it based off, I want a guy that does this, or the guy that does that. I build it off of a question. So one of my favorite characters I ever played was a bard, and he was an arcane pacifist. He'd punch you in the face all day long, but he would never use magic to hurt another person. And that was his question: was can he hold to that, or does he have to start realizing that no, sometimes I have to use this, even though it's not fair that not everyone has magic. And so that makes things interesting, because then you're sitting there going, what kind of questions can I ask with this?
That's cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I'm at the DM, I like to create characters that fill specific roles with a little bit of a backstory that makes them interesting and a twist.
Mm-hmm.
As a player, I did a little bit of characters that are like idealized versions of me for a little bit, and then I started going for like make something interesting and then like make it the passion of that character.
I love you, Dea.
Dea being so passionate is hilarious. Yes, it creates so many ridiculous moments. And I love it.
Yet,
I love playing
yet
with
we
Dea.
love Videa all the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I picked character traits for her, and then everything else rolls around that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just gonna tell you right now, there is nothing that beats the simple joy of being the dungeon master and having the new player's character meet the old character and forcing that player to roleplay both characters at once for the first time and watching them start to panic.
We had this happen with two different people, because Arthur has two characters, Tong and Rada, and then Dominic has Amber and Idea.
Amber was the first one in this campaign, and then his
Idea.
story arc was such that he decided to go back to his family after he met them and made up with them, and now he's a semi-recurring character. Well,
Mhm.
They has become my new character. Fun thing about not being an idealized version of myself as well is I can have characters that don't do things like I would, which is to say, strategically and as optimally as I can think of. Medea does stupid things because
So,
as a character, she would do those things,
Yeah.
well,
but she's not always trying to do stupid things.
I kind of did do what Braxton described during IPI. Unintentionally, I didn't intend for you to pick up Idea's quirks when she showed up. But hey.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments in any campaign is there's a public teen game around at a game store where just anyone can show up. Someone's character was literally about to die because they ate something cursed. As in, they killed an enemy that was cursed and was contagious, and they took a bite because they were wild shaped and they decided to eat it anyway. It's like, okay, your character's about to die from this, and so Feywild shenaniganry happened. It saved their character, but then, like 3 months real world time later, when they wind up back in the Feywild, they discover their character is also there, and they now have two identical versions of themselves that they're trying to control, and that got spiraling out of hand in the best ways.
Oh, wow.
It got to be fun though.
I had one player who I was trying to be flexible with options, and I gave people lots of options, and he was like, "I don't want to be from this world you created." I was like, "Okay, well, how do you get here?" Which led to the demon-possessed warlock that didn't want to use warlock spells, who had information from Earth that led the entire party on a wild goose chase to invent the gun that they then gave to an expansionist ruler, while also creating the world's holy grail by talking about the internet as the source of infinite knowledge.
And creating pollution because of the magic of magic and tossing the 2-liter pop bottles into the ocean.
Not
And
the Minotaur addicted to barbecue chips.
And made a contract with a demon that he didn't read twice.
Which ultimately ended up freeing said demon god from the shackles of the world and causing a big hole in the world that caused other things to come through and mess up the world.
All in all,
Sounds about
everything
right.
is Nico's fault. It's kind of poetic justice in a way that Egan's character caused all the problems. Now he left his character at the rift to protect the world when he caused the problems.
Yes, his other character.
Because we had the character he's talking about was my brother-in-law's character Nico, and that was a session that they literally finished the night before Dominic and I got married. Everybody was together; they were all together, and so they were able to finish that campaign. And then we started. We did a little bit of a prequel campaign where it was kind of before the Nico campaign had happened in this world that Dominic had built. That one kind of petered off. And then we did a post Nico session, which is the one that we just wrapped up. And Egan's character is always chaotic. Like Egan himself is chaotic in a good way, but he's chaotic. And then there's me, who's I like order. Order, me chaos. Chaos is running away.
Actually, thinking that I did what Braxton described as a full-on session. It was a crossover between my first campaign with my cousins and the second one.
Mhm.
It was specifically supposed to be a New Year's Day or a New Year's themed session
Mhm.
where the characters from both campaigns appeared, and we had a number of people playing two characters at once for the two sessions that we had to do for it. And basically, the second campaign group had to save Father Time, or at least get him to do his job. The other group, they just fell asleep. So they had two groups basically at an amusement park trying to either find Father Time or procrastinate by enjoying the rides.
The chaos of the good festival is always fun.
They eventually found Father Time, and he was not really willing to go back to do his job, so they had to fight him. And like the finishing blow is like, I swing my dagger. Wait, no, I swing my dagger, but then I stop, flip it around, and do it non-lethally.
Like, wait, nope.
I feel like Father Time might be a problem, guys. Let's not do that.
Let's
and
just
say we
pummel bash
did.
him for a minute and knock him out. Well, in our family campaign that we ended on New Year's Eve, we were in a Mind Flayer Elder Brain hideout, basically.
Giant castle. The
Eldritors.
the mind flayers may have come through aforementioned hole in the world.
Like I said, everything
Hmm.
is Nico's fault. So we ended up with like 3 different combats, and we had a lizard folk guy, 2 displacer beasts, an intellect devourer, and like 4 or 5 spine doubles in the first one. And thankfully, our fighter, who is a minotaur of about 7 feet tall, just completely smashed the intellect devourer, so we didn't have to worry about that. The spine devils were more concerned of annoying the displacer beasts. But like, we're just gonna annoy the cats. Like, they completely ignored us for the most part. They just wanted to attack cats. My ranger might have discovered she is not a cat person. Sorry, Tough. I like other people's cats. So like Tough, Albus, you guys are great. But I'm not the biggest cat person myself. And my ranger might have shot out the eye of the displacer beast and then finished it off by shooting out the other eye. But the Mind Flayer fight was the funniest because we actually got the drop on him. Like, he did not see us coming at all. So all of a sudden, just smash, 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 smash with an ice pick to the back from our fighter.
Mind Flayer didn't get a turn.
Yeah, the Mind Flayer did not get a turn because our fighter comes charging in. He's the Minotaur and smashes him a couple times with the pickaxe. I loose off an arrow with a hail of thorns that hits him pretty well and shoot another arrow. And then our Warforged goes and lassos the guy because he wanted to interrogate him. And so he's restricted. So this Mind Flayer is restricted and just like, what the freak just happened? All of a sudden, he just is having a very bad day. And our Shard Mind, which is a holdover from 4th edition, homebrewed to fit into 5th edition, because we love that character. She just does detect thoughts, and like the surface thoughts are like, oh, what the heck happened? But then, like, so she delves deeper into like, okay, are there plans on taking over this realm? Like, what else we got going on here? And he's just the front guy doing all of the gathering of food and energy for the Elder Brain, and it's been causing disappearances of people all over the world. And so we've been trying to stop these disappearances, and even had 2 of our party members, myself being one of them, in danger of being taken by these shadowy flames of teleportation magic. And she's like, yeah, no, we can kill him. We need to beat him 6 feet under. And our monk just decides to hit him like a pinata. And down he goes. He did not get a turn. Our bard didn't get a turn. And it was really funny because he was like, the character was ticked about it because the disappearances have been really affecting him because of his backstory and things like that. And he's like, I wanted a shot at this guy. And so he goes over to this guard, this poor lizard guy who's just standing there conspicuously guarding the very conspicuous way down. And he's like, he's ordered to stay there, so he can't really. And our bard just bashes him over the side of the cliff with his shield because it's like, I didn't get to hit that bad guy, I get to hit you.
Oh,
The Elder Brain definitely made up for the fact that the Mind Flayer didn't get to do anything.
Because you nuked us after deceptively rolling so poorly in the beginning that your brother was taunting it, calling it smooth brain.
Stuff like that always gets hilarious. One of the most evil things there was anyone do was I had a campaign going, and an ancient vampire was being risen back from his tomb. It was supposed to be this big, super scary guy that they might or might not be able to take, and if they couldn't quite beat him, he was going to just dip out and leave him to recover and get stronger. But I forgot about the fact that vampires took extra damage in running water, and who of the players knew the spell Maelstrom? So they both cast it over the same area, while the barbarian rage grappled the dude and just pummeled him into the ground in a headlock while just tanking the damage. And this super scary, supposed to be similar to Dracula type dude, just gets wrecked, Belmont style, within 30 seconds of waking up. It was the second most disrespectful thing to ever happen to a big bad in my campaigns. The worst was the wizard, cast haste on the big bad evil guy, who immediately charges forward, hits twice, and then the wizard drops concentration, stunning him for a round.
Wow.
Uh,
That's quite the
awesome.
use of that spell.
it was diabolical. I loved it.
The Elder Brain, like some of these were even legendary actions that it failed to grab us with its tentacles. And so it failed, I think, 2 or 3 times in a row to catch any of us.
I also failed a bunch of saves, which I guess I could have just chosen to save against, but I was getting a feel for things, and besides, the fact that it rolled a 1 on its like plus 12 charisma check that allowed it to fail a save on Vicious Mockery.
Which allowed our bard to have his shining moment because that's the first time Vicious Mockery ever worked for him in the entire campaign.
Was a College of Swords bard.
Yeah, he was a College of Swords bard, and every time he'd cast Vicious Mockery before that, it had never worked. And so my brother-in-law, as a player, he's like, "Oh wait, crap! Now I have to come up with an insult. I wasn't expecting it to work."
The 1 was literally the only way that it wouldn't save against his Vicious Mocker.
Yeah.
This is
So
why you
we're sitting
always
here
have insults ready.
Yeah. Well, and we're sitting here thinking, Elder Brain can't hit the broadside of a barn. This is great. And our shard mind had lifted the fighter onto the top of the brain for him to basically give it a lobotomy with his ice pick. And then it decided to nuke us with a brain blast.
It was 1 point away from killing our shard mine.
And only 2 of us managed the saving throws to not be stunned.
Ooh.
One of them was my ranger. The other one was our sorcerer.
It was my first time actually bringing them down to death saving throws. And I didn't feel good about it, but I'm glad they kept me honest.
Yeah, because that was one thing. He's like, the stunning seems kind of Christian. Your dad's like, that's what it says it does.
I knew it was out of their league, but I figured that they probably had the action economy advantage.
The action economy can wreck things.
When our sorcerer cast
You guys were
a
level
twin,
6 or 7?
yeah.
The CR 14.
Let me see here. What level's Maraway? He is level 6. But my brother-in-law's sorcerer, he twinned a chromatic orb with double acid damage, which basically made it so that the Elder Brain was hanging on by the sliver of a synapse. And then it decided to actually grab my character and bring the archer closer to it. So I notched 2 arrows and fired at point blank range because I just watched one of my dear friends, or Shardmind, like her crystals were starting to crack because she's doing death saving throws. It's like, oh, heck no. No. You don't get to kill a Nunua at all.
Yeah, and she was grabbed, so it also did the super mean thing of, because the tentacles did passive damage, it was also doing that mean thing of, oh, you took damage while making death saving throws. Here's two free failures for you. Yeah.
But we had found a potion of greater restoration before we went into all of these fights, and she was carrying it. So we basically, our fighter pulled her, set her on the floor, stabilized her. Our Warforged paladin and our sorcerer ran over to just like the three of them. It's like, here's your D&D priesthood blessing. Like poured the potion over her, like got her stabilized. Like medics, stat. You gotta save her now.
One of my favorite things about that was someone was down on their second to last death save, and the other person, unable to get there far enough, just lobs the potion as hard as they can, and it just explodes on their face. So we ruled that they took 1d4 damage, putting them on their last death save. But then, because it was a high enough potion, 2 of the drops landed in their mouth, so they did 2d4 healing to get back up.
D&D splash potion, go.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't IPI have a situation where I almost downed everyone, and it was basically a luck of the dice that
Yeah, because I'm pretty
Yes,
sure
it was a certain Tong.
Yeah, it was Tong's sister. Because you decked me in the head with you
One shot
you
her.
you bashed me in the back of the head.
no. So no, like I'm thinking of the finale where I think I got a breath weapon off.
Oh, right, with the black dragon.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Black Dragon was close, but it was no match for the sheer carnage that Tong unleashed on us.
Yeah.
And it was no match for my net.
The only time when I've ever seen a net work.
Right?
Grant, it's also the only time that I've ever seen anyone use a net.
I'm so glad I made that quirk when I created my character. I was trying like have a weird quirk with my characters, and that one was they're a hunter. They go for wizards. How do you stop somatic components? You throw a net at somebody.
Yeah. Steel has a ready area.
So glad I thought of that. It's like it's a large creature. I'm gonna try it because we're gonna die anyways.
Because I think I downed 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Physician being one of them. I think Sahir was the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. The physician goes down to a light breeze.
Because it's the physician.
I think he's down the physician several times.
I still love the fact that we took Yoshiro and basically stuck him in a magic box in the air and kept him safe in a magic box in the air. The rope trick.
Rope Trick is such a fun spell.
Yeah, we basically saved Tong's son and stuck him in at the top of the rope in a safe box.
I did have fun with the rope trick.
Fighting a dragon.
So for context, Braxton, IPI
Yeah.
it takes place after this current campaign on a different world.
So we have cameos from a couple of the members of this campaign. Erden, Brina, Rada, Tong, Idea, Tooth.
Idea showed up.
Yeah, Idea and Tooth showed up. So we have our characters from this campaign showing up in this. It was a side campaign that Arthur ran when Jen had kind of had a little bit of DM burnout. And so he did a side campaign that we had a lot of fun with, where we ended up becoming the pseudo police force of this island.
You became private detectives.
We became private detectives, and we had the Rogue Bros, which no, the Rogue Bros.
It's a secret agreement that we cannot introduce to the Rogue Bros.
Yeah. Tooth is not allowed to meet the Rogue Bros. The world will not handle Tooth meeting the Rogue Bros.
Yeah. Honestly, Tooth would fit right in with the general party that I run games for.
Mhm.
Like, we took a hiatus from D&D and we tried running the Fallout TTRPG. It was a lot of fun. There were some interesting twists and turns with the whole thing, including the fact that their vault that they came from had a mutant version of the FEV, and so they started growing weird things like cat ears and stuff because several players wanted to be unusual, and so it's like, yeah, or fine, whatever, but we'll start with it. And instead of sticking to classic Fallout style, here's a crazy world, try to figure out the best you can, they managed to build themselves a truck, paint it to look like Miku, the anime girl, and then start Mad Maxing their way across the world. The whole thing got so out of hand.
So it's like our head canon of
It,
us traveling in the RV that Idea's souped up.
so related to all of this is we have a headcanon where IPI, which stands for Island Private uh, Investigators, and the Whims of Fate just going like meeting each other at a random hotel, getting into all kinds of hijinks there, and then going on a road trip together in a bus.
That Idea is constantly souping up.
Because and the police are like trying to find this bus and it doesn't show up on radar because of course we've strapped the TARDIS to the top of it. Because one of the character that Jen was playing in IPI, the physician, it's basically the Doctor. She's playing Doctor Who, and it was fantastic. And Megan's playing the
A bunny
TARDIS that's
companion.
currently in a bunny.
I've
So
heard stories about the bunny.
yeah, so the bunny, like, you throw it at somebody and it basically just melts its way through the person that you're trying to kill.
Oh, yeah, the
And then you
It
just
also
you
set a
leave
couple
little
blocks on fire
you
with a large beam of energy.
yeah, you just leave a little bunny shaped hole in whoever you've thrown it at, and she likes tea.
So she's still a bunny, so
So she's still a bunny, and so she's a stuffed bunny, and so it's like you can't have tea. What's really so we had your character was an Arabian chef
yes.
who was a rogue and normally stole ingredients. He kept us well fed, except for the cantaloupe.
We had too much cantaloupe.
We rioted over cantaloupe in that campaign.
yeah, right towards the end too.
We had so much cantaloupe to eat while we were on the flying ship.
No cantaloupe.
And then, Airden, your character was a fighter, correct? No,
Yes.
fighter.
A non-binary fighter.
Yeah, non-binary fighter who wanted to just open a coffee shop. Was not very functional without their coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I played a wizard that was from like fantasy Norway, Denmark, Scandinavia. Another thing that you'll come to learn is that somehow, inadvertently, every single D&D character I've made, except for
Is a
maybe
Disney
one,
princess.
is a Disney princess. The universe is trying to tell me something and I don't know why. Like Sabrina, she speaks to animals.
She looks like Moana.
She looks like Moana. Yeah.
Nice. And then, well, technically, I was playing all the NPCs. There was one particular NPC that was with the party frequently, though he disappeared sometimes. Was an Aarakocra Bard Rogue.
Is the other half the Rogue Bros with comics character.
There was a joke at one point that if they were found in a modern day airport, they would be trying to sneak a grandfather clock past security and somehow succeed.
Past TSA and succeeding.
Okay.
Grandfather clock going through TSA. You're like, what on earth is going on? And why a grandfather clock?
Honestly, One of my favorite headcanon ideas of all time is that every ward needs a pair of old ladies as Relief Society sisters that is basically the grandma from Moana and the grandma from Mulan.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my
They
gosh.
also are exactly the type of people I can see somehow not even attempting to sneak it, just talking their way through, blatantly lying, and it's somehow working because no one has the heart to try and argue with them or the patience to try and understand the logic at play.
They'll do what Mulan's mom said. It's like, Grandma, no! As she starts walking across the road with her eyes shut, trying to test if the cricket's lucky.
And you know what? The
You
cricket was
whispered
lucky.
to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it totally was.
But my character in our family campaign was a half elf ranger, but he has red hair and
Merida.
Meredith, but also Ariel, because I ended up with a magical item called the Welling Spoon that basically pours whatever liquid you want out of it.
I love that spoon.
That's
It's the magic item I came up with, and it's so great.
And so Maraway has these. She grew up with the elves, and so human things are more fascinating because she didn't grow up as close to her human heritage. So she has two spoons that she carries. She has the Welling spoon, and then she has a spoon that she found in a tunnel at the bottom of a tunnel that led up to a jail cell. So it's obviously a spoon somebody used to break out of jail. And so, but my brother-in-law is like, oh, it's like Ariel with her thingamabobs and everything. It's like the spoon's like, and there it goes again.
We dig a tunnel underneath the city with spoons.
So then in IPI, a wizard Isaline looked like freaking Elsa.
I just remember, like, we're forgetting the best part about Avery. He was a con man, but
Oh yeah.
like the leader of a circus who is also a magician. Like he even like has the getup for that. Well, the best parts, he became prime minister of the island. But the next election, he got beat out by a separate high charisma character, and then got arrested for corruption.
Okay,
Whole party
so
was suspicious of him except for Sahir.
so FanX every year, I run D&D games with the Foundation for Prevention of Violence up on the third floor. And there's a set campaign I remember. People are dealing with the werewolf curse thing. You know, level 3 characters, quick one shot. And the werewolf is running low on health. Most of the party is on the verge of death. And the wizard, not having picked up any silver weapons, having one spell slot left, grabs the drawer of silverware, flings it into the air, and casts catapult at max level. So, of course, instead of one object flying really hard, because that's kind of lame in the moment, a knife, a fork, and spoon damage were discovered that day. And the spoon to the forehead did exactly the minimum damage needed to kill him.
Honestly, I mean, David slew Goliath with a stone to the forehead. A spoon to the forehead makes just as much sense for a werewolf.
Mm-hmm. Well, the story of David and Goliath is hilarious the more you look into it because everyone looks and goes, oh, wow, how did he have the faith to believe a stone worked? No, no, no. Slings were more dangerous than everything short of the English longbow. The impressive part wasn't the slingshot being a weapon, it was the skill needed to do it. Like in the old reliefs and the carvings and the pictures, the slingers generally had longer beards than the kings because they were older than the kings and technically more valuable. It would usually take those guys 20 to 30 years to be super scary, but then at that point, you've basically got a medieval 9mm flinging rocks at people.
Oh yeah, no, like slingshots are way more deadly than people give them credit for.
Oh yeah, angular momentum. Nobody thinks about it, but it is damn terrifying.
Yeah, especially when you consider some of those slingshots can be almost 3 feet long. That is a lot of circle coming at you.
The power of the circle compels you into your afterlife and the person behind you.
And to somewhat get us back on topic that we said that we might do.
Oh yeah.
What do we want to do? because I mean, I have a lot of spells that I'm looking at right now because I'm literally creating cards of my damaging spells. I have lots of options.
I mean, we have a lot of ideas now, although I have to say that maybe we don't go too complicated.
No,
I will say
like,
that Amor can actually cast Silence.
well, yeah, he did that during the Battle of Kimry.
Mhm.
I,
Honestly, I feel like the silence, like have a whole bunch of magic stuff happen and then have silence cast. I feel like that would almost up the fear factor for the opposing army more than just the magic on its own. But I still think the Horseman of the Apocalypse is a good route to go with.
Right. I'm like, if we just pull off a faithful rendition of Horsemen of the Apocalypse with a few extra added effects that fit the theme, I'm going to have a good time.
so, well, so like, with the Battle of Kimry, like, Amor used silence to silence the drums, and then I used Fireball, but changing the damage type to thunder damage,
Mhm.
which is sound. I still
That
did a
does.
lot of damage. I still did well over 1,000 damage in total, but still, I think that was probably my favorite moment of that battle.
I'd say that feels like a little bit of an anti-synergy. But
You know,
Oh.
that does pose an interesting question. How many people know Shatter, and how many of them can cast it at once?
I don't think any of us know Shatter.
no.
Darn. Because
We
you
could have
see,
done
that
some
would be
minor
hilarious to
tremors
speed it.
with thaumaturgy, but Adea lost thaumaturgy. That was one of her favorite. Thaumaturgy was a favorite fidget toy of Adea.
She would change her eye color just to change her eye color. Because I know Brina still has thaumaturgy, and so she can do some of the earthquake kind of things, but it's not going to be anything massive. So my thing is that I was under the impression leading up to this that the Saxons were part of this army. Maybe not the whole part of it, but that they were going to be there. Because I know one of the things that Brina could do is pull out her Valkyrie. I have a Galler horn that can summon a Valkyrie because for the longest time I was 3'6" and struggled to actually have a lot of melee ability to help in combat.
Well,
And so I was gifted.
you still have troubles with that.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't help you hit me hard.
I know. I'm looking on the bright side, okay? But because for the Saxons, that would be probably more terrifying for them. And the Romans would also be terrified because magic.
Mm.
Still, I'm not thinking of that as like a main thing. That's like as a side thing, if at all necessary. I still think the Horseman of the Apocalypse is probably going to be the best route. I like the idea of the flaming swords, but I'm not sure.
I think the Flaming
Oh,
Swords is a bit of a logistical burden.
Potentially.
mm-hmm.
I will say that if we could get Adea to play along long enough, to pay attention long enough, it just occurred to me that there's a certain archetype of the Antichrist that we could probably get her to fit decently well. Performing some of the miracles, but also doing things that definitely,
Don't fit.
yes, being female might help in this case.
Oh, yeah. And one thing that I thought of that is less strategy for what we're going to do in battle and more strategy of what I can do to help in the conversation that we're going to be having. I do have calm emotions, so if I notice that Cobalt is getting freaked out by what we're planning because of his religion, I can at least try and help him with that.
Adea can both walk on water and summon fire.
Yeah, Cobalt does have the poisoner's feat, so I could create a pretty nasty poison for at least a couple of us to use. Especially if you want to try and like sneak into their army camp and put in their water or something.
Oh, we're going to have a tale of two camps again.
Yeah. We stuck into a Saxon camp and burned it to the ground previously.
Well, so
That works.
what happened was that we had the Battle of Kimmery. Emrys Deus Ex Machina did that battle.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding with that. It was almost quite literally a Deus Ex Machina. It was actually probably more of a Draco Ex Machina.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
Tong
Yeah.
decides, all right, they're fleeing. Let's go raid their camp. Manages to only get a handful of people. So, while the army and half the party are staying at camp, these few guys go over and Tong casts invisibility on herself, Tooth, and Henry. And Rada uses greater invisibility. They all sneak into camp. Tong was the only one that did anything useful because she managed to find plans, like find out where all the armies were, stole a bunch of paper, stole the commander's clothes, and then snuck out.
We also grabbed
Nice.
a bunch of like provisions and things like that to help feed our forces.
That was
And
later.
Yeah.
As
no, I thought that was the same one, but
No, so Tong stole like
Mhm.
a bunch of papers, their battle plans, and their commander's clothes. Henry and Tooth hung out behind a meeting that was going on, trying to decide if they want to attack someone or not, which they decide probably best not to. Rada tried to figure out how many people were left, and it was just like a lot. So then we returned back. Uther said, "I'd, hey, look, we got a golden opportunity. Let's go raid the camp." And that's when we went over. And at some
Mhm.
point, someone said something like, "Yeah, we should probably like steal some provisions so we have stuff."
That's fair. I was thinking because with the poisoner's feet, Cobalt could create at least 3 uses of it. We could probably make more of it another day to work on it. And it's some pretty nasty stuff. It's a DC 14 con save with 2d8 damage to anyone that gets hit by it. So I was thinking, just pour that in the food or the water. Probably wouldn't necessarily kill anyone, but it would certainly screw with everyone something fierce.
I'm like,
Are we still the
what?
good guys if we poison the well?
We're not gonna poison the well.
not
We're
poison.
gonna sneak in. We're gonna hide as the cooks, and we're gonna poison the soup.
He poisoned the town's water supply and left a curse upon our lands. He did? No, but are we gonna wait until he does?
See, I have been thinking like we should have our cavalry harassing the army the entire time.
Isn't that the Four Horsemen?
The horsemen can be a part of it, but not like actually harassing them, as in like doing some damage and then dipping out before the enemy can amass a effective response.
Yeah, guerrilla tactics. That makes sense.
It's a good strategy. One thing that
Actually,
would also be effective is Hannibal's first plan was great. Harass the army, get them to cross the river, and then just beat them up while the river freezes them out.
So, if you're thinking what I'm thinking of, what he did was he woke up got the Roman army to wake up early and leave without breakfast. Then they crossed the river.
Oh yes, there was several steps to it, but that was a large part of it.
actually, the horseman thing should be the last thing they encounter. Because like it should be constant harassment and their food got poisoned and other things affect them on the way over, and then by the end, as they just get to their goal, they encounter the literal end of the world right beforehand. They're like, "Screw this! You got to destroy their morale."
Well,
If we're doing the horseman thing, what we really should do is have the horseman become seen days beforehand in the distance, kind of subtly,
yeah,
to
like
start rumors and spears, and
yeah, like
then have them come riding in hard near the end.
just
Ow!
yeah,
David needs to work on her sword.
yeah.
That was my
I
foot.
was I'm thinking the same thing. Like
Hmm.
we have like one of the cavalrymen like disguised as one of the horsemen, and that only appears when they're getting harassed, or frequently appears, but only to like a small number of soldiers.
Yeah, and on the morning that their breakfast is poisoned, like the one for pestilence, or as they're being harassed by the cavalrymen, like the ones of war.
Now, if we
Yeah.
wanted to go diabolical with this, we could bring Tooth along so he can cast Insect Plague before he dips out.
I was thinking that we were gonna do like the plagues, because that's why we tested the if he could summon the forms of locusts, because we were gonna do the plagues and stuff for seeding. Or no, I guess that was actually for one of the horsemen and having the bugs.
Yeah, that was for Pestilence. It's just the Plagues of Egypt was the quote that made it to the quotes channel.
Wait, what about the Coast Channel?
The Tooth, why do you have the Plagues of Egypt in your bag?
Right.
Okay,
See,
I know
that,
we don't.
I
I
think
know
that
we
was
don't have it
what-
available, but if we want it to be truly evil, we just need a bunch of glitter to toss around all their armor.
I hate glitter.
I am still finding pieces of it from 30 years ago.
Never, ever, ever
Certain
goes away.
warlock who might bring a bunch of pink glitter to your world, or explosive glitter, or both.
Nico?
The dust.
So, yeah, so like this stuff is great for like in the lead up to the battle, which also depends on how big the army that we're fighting against is.
Mhm.
Because if it's like the last army battle that we fought, we don't have Emrys to save us this time.
And why do I get this very looming feeling that Will is gonna try and die?
Because you're not the only one who's thought about it.
Cernanos was watching him. And this is me as a player because I know Brina didn't notice Cernanos watching him.
Oh, speaking of poisons and everything, and glitter for that matter, I just remembered Brina got
Oh
5
my god.
multicolored dust.
Yeah. You know.
And it's like one of them is white, causes blindness, and one of the options I wrote down was ingest for permanence.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that you can do is if they ingested it could be permanent.
Yes, the first magic items that we all got that we all forgot about.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've used mine plenty.
So it's coolant from a car, radiator fluid.
Apparently, yeah.
I've
Like there's
genuinely had to run over and smack 3 people upside the head to keep them from trying to open their radiator from a hot car. They're just dumb teenagers. They don't know any better. Scary every time.
and then there's like black for sapping strength,
Yeah, I was
brown
gonna
which
say
gives you the runs. Like we
Mhm.
we have harassment in a bottle
Oh.
here.
I know one of them is supposed to slow you down. That one I did use because I tried to use it against the Selkie who was kidnapping me. and it didn't. It fell short. It didn't roll well.
Did Amor get a
What
magic item? I think he just bought an amulet.
Whatever you do, do not give the one that gives people the runs to the enemy archers. That happened with the British ones, and they just stood there and dipped their arrows in it before shooting.
Hmm.
One of my favorite things about English longbowmen is the fact that archaeologists can tell which skeletons were the longbowmen because of the hyper definition of the muscles in the arms drawing back the bow. Because they had to have so much strength to draw those bows back that it physically changed their skeletons. I find
Yep.
that so fascinating.
Well, we literally grow new feet like every 3 to 5 years, depending on activity. Because every time you make contact with something, your body removes bone in places that it's like, oh, that's not as important, and adds new ones to spots where the impact was to make your skeleton stronger.
That we should be harassing the like we should be taking advantage of every opportunity that we can to move things in our favor because Gorlois, he gotta die.
Oh.
I don't
Mhm.
care if we Fae are there. He dying.
If not here, somewhere else.
I mean, it could very well be that we are playing like in effort to avoid the prophecy, we are fulfilling the prophecy.
Maybe. I feel like the question isn't who will die, but it's a bet on how many named characters will die. And also
It's a
if
fair one.
Gorlois is one of them.
Hey, I'm going to be
It's
keeping a spell slot open for Thunder Step and Misty Step. And you know what? The portals to the other worlds are just right there.
I'm pretty sure we've agreed that in defense of Gorlois, there's a few people who would likely die trying to keep him safe. Emror included.
Yep.
Listen, the people with the biggest death flags right now are definitely Will and Golois. Amror is up there, but he's not quite all the way there.
Mhm.
Then it's whoever of us is with him.
I love how Tong and Adea, for completely different reasons, have the same motivation to be in this fight now.
Igraine.
Yes.
I mean, hey, she did her a service that she didn't ask for. And it was a really meaningful service.
It's kind of the same for Adea.
Okay, what did she do for Adea?
Helping with the dress.
Ah. I think I can do another grand opening with either Fireball or Sickening Radiance.
How many fireballs and firebolts can we get together? Do you think we can get like an apocalyptic meteor storm going?
Let's see.
With minor illusion,
Rain
maybe
of fire.
we could use. I could use minor illusion to help create it, make it look like the fireballs and the firebolts are. There's more of them.
They
5.
have a fireball, but she does have flaming spear and firebolt.
I have 5 potential uses of Fireball.
Remember
But
when we charged a bunch of arrows with spells, but they happened to be the inversion of the spells?
Yeah, that
Can't we
was
just make arrows that do the actual spell and fire
They can't
a
be
bunch
made
of
out of
those?
iron.
They can't be made out of iron.
That's why we had those arrows was because they were all made out of iron arrowheads.
All right, so melt down a bunch of copper and bronze coins. Those should hold magic, right?
It is going to be broke at this point.
Dana is always on the brink of being broke, even when she's rich. Financial literacy is not in Adea's book of many skills.
We're literally living in a fortress. They should have money.
Also, let's say it's so.
Adea,
As
we
for
have to graduate.
one question that I have is how much or how dry and how much wild vegetation is going to be on the potential battlefield.
My thing is when it comes to the fire effects, I'm nervous for Tong's sake because of the effects with her and fire. I do have confusion, which is a spell that I picked up recently that I just haven't used, but it it's a 90-foot range, and basically each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on whatever point I choose has to succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be affected by it. An affected target can't take reactions and must roll a d10 at the start of each of its turn to determine its behavior for that turn. So it can use all of its movement to move in a random direction. It can just not move or take a turn. It could use an action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach. And if they get a 9 or 10, they can act and move normally. But what I was thinking of is that if we're looking to cause confusion, that might be helpful. I mean, it is the name of the spell.
It'll definitely slow things down. Which again, time would be on our side. Like, we have the advantage of having AoE. Like, and big damaging AoE.
Area of effect.
And if we combine Confusion with Sickening Radiance, which is damage over time, that could
And I
be.
really wish I still had Ball of Flame right now. But I don't. Which makes Amror and Adea much more single target oriented.
Yeah. So thinking about it, I probably have the biggest opportunity to do massive damage over a greater number of people, whereas the rest of you are mostly single target and melee focused.
Yep.
I'm good with distractions. Like I have my Valkyrie to be able to do more of the melee stuff, but I'm going to be helpful with distractions. I also have enhance ability where I can basically touch a creature and bestow a magical enhancement with it. Bear's endurance, bull's strength, cat's grace, eagle's splendor, fox's cunning, owl's wisdom, and it there's advantage on certain checks. Cat's grace is that they also don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less if it's not incapacitated. Bull's strength advantage on strength checks and their carrying capacity doubles. And then Bear's endurance advantage on constitution checks also gains 2d6 temporary hit points, which are lost when the spell ends. And it lasts up to an hour. Concentration, but
Well, I just had an idea. So we already want to do Horsemen of the Apocalypse. My flavor for Sickening Radiance will guess a falling star. So we just need someone to change the moon, and then we'll have the full effect. If it takes place at night. Otherwise, we need someone to darken the sun.
Anyone know any sun gods or something who can just take the day off or whatever?
Lou? Isn't Lou in charge of the sun? Oh, or wait, is that his dad that's in charge of the sun?
Damn it, where's Rada when you need her?
Seriously.
I mean, hey, if Artemis and Apollo didn't die, Rada could have been like, so Artemis, can your brother do a thing for us? But I'm going to be talking with Jen about what Rada's doing possibly this next week.
Fair enough. Gaea's gonna make a sweet sword that might end up being Caliburnus. That's
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Well, and Brina also has hypnotic pattern, where I can basically, on a failed save, the creature becomes charmed for the duration. So it's another distraction. Kind of like, I can do the distraction part so that the rest of you can hit them.
Yeah. So we want to be taking as little damage while inflicting as much, either physical or mental damage. Okay. Optimally, we can win the battle without having to lift a finger. Now, how Gorlos is going to die from that?
He chokes on some food in the celebration afterwards. I don't know.
But the point of the harassment is to decrease the amount of soldiers that are coming at us. And then the Horsemen of the Apocalypse is to severely drain the morale. The rest of this is more so just like to do both damaging their morale and their physical health at the same time. Which is kind of why I'm asking about what's the vegetation like on this potential battlefield. So, because, make the armies flee faster is if there's fire around them.
We're in this. We just got into the season of summer, so
very
we
early
haven't had enough. We haven't had enough time for anything to dry out. But we also know that rain isn't going to come nearly as often, so we won't get a fun brush fire, but nothing will theoretically stop the fire either.
How much oil is there in the village?
Probably not as much as we would like.
We need to start a whaling operation instead.
Everyone learn oil slick. As the first thing Tongue teaches all of us. We are spreading this all throughout the lands the night before.
Actually, that is another thing, is that we want to be the ones to choose the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I mean, we
Yeah.
definitely already know we have the home field advantage. We just got to make sure that the home field advantage is, the field out in front of the home and not in the home.
It's going to have to be close enough to Tantagel that we can muster quickly and get out. Well, get to them. But if we need to retreat, then we can get back to the castle. So it's definitely going to be probably within a half a day's walk.
Mm.
We definitely
It's
don't want to
probably
route.
yeah, it's probably a little too pedantic to bring up, but if we could have a small incline or a hill for us to stand atop and then just splash water on it, seeing as most people's shoes would be just flat leather.
Again, like more delaying action stuff.
Well, no, I mean literally, like a 5-degree incline with flat leather shoes can be too much to actually climb up. Like I said, that's probably a little too pedantic.
I mean, it's fairly hilly country over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am kind of being pessimistic with thinking that the opposing army is going to be larger than us. Like it's going to be a repeat of the Battle of Kimry in terms of numbers, except worse. I think we should try as much as possible to create a funnel. Okay. That would diminish their numbers advantage while also grouping them up to do as much damage as possible.
We're gonna need a lot of fire if we're gonna try that at all, because if I recall, Jen said something about there not being any woods nearby.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to do something artificial to funnel them at all. Unless we're gonna try and use the natural cliffside as half of it. But we don't know which way they're coming from, so
We know they're coming from the east,
yeah.
but whether or not that they'll swing around and come from the southwest is another question.
So unless we can route them in that direction.
Again, this is another reason for the harassment is to get them to go where we want them to go.
Yeah.
So I suppose one thing that we should definitely put in the roleplay is harassment, like cavalry harassment. Um, uh, Either we do use the knights or some form of skirmishers. We can try Braxton's idea of poisoning their food.
Yeah, I think it would work.
We do have a couple options for invisibility.
Yeah, because you have your helm of invisibility. Also, I wonder if you could actually convince any brownies to help with that.
Well, we have the helm of invisibility. Tong has invisibility. We also have alter self.
Mm-hmm. Which Brina successfully learned from Tong, so I know I have that one.
So if we can't sneak our way in as invisible, we can sneak in as soldiers or camp followers.
Mm-hmm.
But that is going to be interesting with the fact that Brina can't speak Latin
Yeah,
Magic.
and Tong uh, doesn't have charisma.
Honestly, what would be really great is if there happened to also be a few Saxons in that group, because then Ern could just walk right in.
Yeah, so we can use Cobalt's poisons and Brina's dust.
Yeah,
spies.
But I can easily go through. I know I have it written down somewhere. What I have is like the dusts themselves. So
Another thing was the harassment. Harass their luggage.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Because army marches on its stomach, and if we attack their food,
Not only poison the food, remove the food altogether.
burn the stores.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally we would steal some food, but if we can't do it, then I guess fire is going to have to do. Assuming the white
Do you
lady
think?
isn't there.
Yeah. She's probably not
But
there.
we have amazing plans, White Lady,
Mhm.
about that.
You can't get all of us at once.
I don't want her to get
Everybody scatter.
I'm pretty sure she can.
You see, this is why Erden only goes if he's. Actually, this is why we all don't go.
Yeah.
That was one thing that we had already talked on the road to Tintagel about kind of like where people were going to be. I want that to come up again in this strategizing meeting, not only of what we're going to do to go against the opponents, but like to know where we're going to be in battle. Because Hong have our own ideas, and then Erden and the rest of us kind of figured out where we want to be, because this is where Tooth's like he wants to protect the kids. And I think we were gonna put Rena either with him or something along those lines. Because I know Brina wasn't at the front originally, but I want that to be part of the conversation as well, so that that helps me visualize things a little bit better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Arthur, I sent you
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dip off for now, but I'm liking what we
Alright.
got so far.
Yeah,
Alright.
Yep.
I'm
So yeah,
kind of in the same spot.
Yeah.
and we can
Cool.
continue this in the roleplay if we come up with ideas during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
sounds good.
Alrighty. Good night, Braxton.
Good night.